Hey guys, welcome back to Sarcastic Remarks. Alongside Chris to my right, James to my left, my name is Ryan Chambers. We are the official Dallas Stars podcast of THPN. Go and use that promo code THPN the next time you go and use DraftKings Sportsbook. We appreciate them for being our sponsor. Anyways, guys, how have y'all been this past week? Anything going on?
I've been busy.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I got an apartment. Moved to Austin.
I'm being very sarcastic right now. He's been very busy.
Moved to Austin. Um, Started my job today and have been putting furniture together ever since I got back from my job. So, yeah, lots of stuff. Oh, and I get to go back to Dallas this weekend to go to 2 weddings in one weekend.
Dude, you're just like the travel guru right now.
Oh yeah, it's super fun. I really like driving.
You also like being in a plane for 17 hours, right?
Yeah, planes, driving. I've taken some trains, some boats. I'd venture to say I've taken almost every mode of transportation.
Oh, man. Well, I don't know about y'all, but today I found out that I have a broken pipe at this brand new house I bought. Well, I say brand new house. It's an old house, but it's brand new to me. And it's going to cost like $14,000 to replace it. I'm so excited about that. It's a lot of money that I have. Huh?
That's it? Only $14,000?
Only $14,000. You have $14,000 to hook to like hand over to me, Chris?
He has well more than that in student debt.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, probably just his plane tickets alone cost $14,000. The amount of times he had to go over and stuff like that. So, but James, what you have been up to?
Just doing my class thing, doing school. I chose to do school for 6 months straight, so we're in the middle of that, chilling.
Yeah,
James sits.
James sits. Hey, James sits. You've been doing more of the. You're on like a Minecraft kind of spree right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm building stuff on Minecraft in my free time, and that's busy. Pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, no, hey, that really is busy work. It really is sometimes. Well, along that venture, I've been doing a lot of like Mario Kart junk lately, and I got bored with the ones that I was playing, so I bought the little DLC stuff that they have. They like I don't know what you call it, all the tour stuff and within like all the cities and stuff, and I started playing those. And then I got even bored of those. So now I played online for like the past 4 days. Not the whole time, but like at least for half an hour. So, man, well, that's my life right now. And then we're going to go watch Secret Invasion after this as well. I'm going to go watch Secret Invasion with Amanda. So, have y'all seen that show yet?
Don't even know what you're talking about.
Secret Invasion? Marvel? It's like the first like Nick Fury, like, I don't know. He's like the main character, I guess. Like, it's the first time he's like the main character in like a movie or a series or something. It's actually pretty good. Okay. Anyways, let's get into the show today. What we're going to talk about. We've got some news to talk about. There's not a lot going on in the NHL right now, as the world basically waits for a Erik Karlsson trade. We got the Alex DeBrincat trade. He's now a member of the Red Wings, but. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're gonna talk about a couple of just Stars news. Well, and I'll ask you a couple of questions. I thought it'd be kind of fun to get into it, and then we're gonna get into what are your spicy hot takes for the Stars next season? I've got a couple. I told y'all one, but I've got a couple, and I might pick one of my 3 that I have. And then we're gonna get into some standings predictions. I don't know if we'll have time for like, the entire league, or if we just do just one conference or whatever. We'll see what happens with that. And then we'll get into our Who Cares segment tonight as well, which we totally decided right before coming on live today. So, and we'll get into that at the end. So without further ado, let's get into some of the Dallas Stars news, which is not that much, to be honest with you. First things first is Denis Gurianov, former Dallas Stars forward who has all the talent in the world, but still just can never seem to figure it out. He could have gone to any other team other than maybe Minnesota, and I would have been fine with it. But he has to go to Nashville, doesn't he? He signs with the Nashville Predators for $850,000 for 1 year, and I collectively threw up in my mouth when I heard about that. What was y'all's thoughts when you heard about Gary signing in Nashville?
Yeah, it sucks that it's got to go to Nashville. Hopefully, we don't end up with another Nichushkin situation where he goes to a division rival and then helps that team win the cup. But, I really think he could be a really good player. It seems like not everything clicked for him here in Dallas. So I hope for the best for him. Don't make me big. Everything behind me is terrible.
Yeah. I mean,
everybody look at his giant mess of his house right now.
That's me.
It's everywhere. Everywhere. I'm just kidding. I won't do that again if you really don't want me to, Chris. Anyway, James, what did you think?
I don't think it matters all that much, honestly. He went to the Canadiens. He did better than he did in Dallas, but he still wasn't even anywhere near his 20-goal score year. I just think he's going to end up being a bottom 6 forward in the league. That's what's going to end up happening.
But he really doesn't have that kind of ability, right?
I'm just going to have to adapt, or I think he's not going to be in the league.
I think it's too late for him to adapt. I mean, like when you look at,
he's a big body. He's big and he can skate fast. That is an easy way to change.
Yeah, but he doesn't play on the penalty kill. He doesn't do any kind of grunt work in the corners or anything like that. At least what we saw in Dallas. Maybe he did that in Montreal. But when you think of Radek Faksa, he was a first round pick, and so was Ty Dellandrea. Yes, technically you want your first round picks to be, top 6 forwards, top 9 forwards, maybe even. But they reinvented themselves. Ty Dellandrea made himself extremely valuable to the Stars this past season. And then Faksa has been that for years. I would argue for 5+ years. He's been that. I just don't see it with Gurianov unless he has some sort of resurgence with Nashville, which, he has an opportunity to play in the top 6 in Nashville if there's some issues. But he'll definitely play on at least the third line, I would think. I think that's where a lot of Nashville Predators, media organizations, fans, whatever, kind of had him as a third line guy. But as much as we hate Nashville and we don't like Trashville, I still hope that he does well, because I've always liked Gurianov as a person. He's always been a good guy. I just don't see it. So the best thing that came out of the news this week, other than the DeBrincat trade going to Detroit, was the fact that the Dallas Stars released their inductees into the Dallas Stars Hall of Fame. On the player side, we have Mr. Eddie the Eagle Belfour, of course. That makes absolute sense there. And then on the builder side, of course, it makes even more sense. We have Mr. Ken Hitchcock. So during his time as a Dallas Star, Eddie the Eagle was one of the best goaltenders in the NHL. He was up for the Vezina multiple years, and he was here at the Stars' best at the late 90s, early 2000s. And he was consistently one of the best goalies during that time as well. And then on top of that, he had a really amazing mask. I don't know if y'all have ever seen his goalie mask. Have y'all ever seen those?
Mm-hmm.
Arguably one of the best designs I've ever seen, period, even nowadays. And then on the builder side, Ken Hitchcock obviously wins the Stanley Cup with the Dallas Stars in 99 alongside Eddie Belfour. And he was instrumental in that win and instrumental in building hockey in the state of Texas. So thoughts on that and them being named into the Dallas Stars Hall of Fame, you guys?
Yeah, I think this is for at least the next 5 years. It's just going to be players from the cup winning team is what it feels like is going to happen, which honestly it is valid. That is due. And you also failed to mention that Eddie had to beat one of the best goalies ever to exist in Dominic Hasek to win the Stars' first Stanley Cup. The last goaltender to remain, and he remained for a long time, and Eddie had to beat him. Eddie had to be better. And then Hitchcock was just the perfect coach for the style of hockey that was played in the late 90s, early 2000s. Just the trap system that plays exactly into what Ken Hitchcock wants to do. He wants to be super structured, super defensive, no risks, and Stars played it better than anybody else when everybody was playing it. So very, very valid and due inductees there.
So, and I'm just curious from you guys, because y'all's perspective is very different from mine, because I was alive during the Stanley Cup final win there in '99, and y'all were not. But from what you've heard just over your lifetime, what have you heard about Ed Belfour, and what have you heard about Ken Hitchcock? Is there anything specific that kind of stands out in your mind?
Well, there's a play that stands out in mind for Ed Belfour. It's when some player slides into him and Eddie just stands up and blocker punches the dude right in the face for doing it. That's what I remember Ed Belfour for doing. That and then the cup check. Yes. The cup check on a Red Wings player too. I remember him just being the most physical goalie that played. I mean, he was not afraid of fighting anybody. It felt like, even as a goalie with all the stuff on.
He was always so much fun to watch. And one of my favorite stories actually with Ed Belfour is when I was little. I actually got the opportunity to play hockey, and I got to do some of the intermission shootouts they would do with like the mini mites and the mites and stuff like that. And right before the end of the second period, because it was during the second intermission, Eddie the Belfour came off, and Eddie the Eagle. Oh my goodness, came off, and as he was coming off, he hit me in my pads, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that hurt." He was ridiculously strong, and I was playing goalie for that particular shootout, so that stands out in my head even now, 20 years later, and I will remember that for the rest of my life. It was really cool. Okay. Anything else? No? Okay, let's move on. All right. So we're going on to our spicy takes for the Dallas Stars season next year. I've got a couple that I'd like to talk about, and I think it would be a lot of fun. But who would like to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, Chris is going to go first. Spicy hot take.
I am defending my boy when nobody else will. Mason Marchment, 20-plus goal scorer.
That's not that big of a hot take. I think he could get there.
That is a hot take. How many goals did he have this year? 11?
No idea.
Not. Give me a second. One second. He had 12.
Yeah.
And then he had 4 in the playoffs.
That is a spicy take.
That's not that big of a spicy take. Y'all ought to hear some of my spicy takes then, if you think that's a spicy take.
All right, go ahead then. Keep playing them up. Do it.
Okay. Here's one of my spicy takes. I think this is more interesting. Wyatt Johnston is going to score 30 goals alongside Jamie Benn scoring 30 goals as well. I think they could both do it again.
I don't think it's very spicy.
Yeah, if it was like completely totally possible, it wouldn't be a hot take. It wouldn't be much fun to talk about, but I think that could happen. I definitely, especially Wyatt Johnston, I think he could score 30 goals next year. And the reason why, sorry, go ahead, James.
We kind of have to see how that sophomore year starts, because I mean it's a thing for a lot of players. The second year in the league tends to be a little bit harder to get up and going. And I mean, Johnston scored 20 this year, or 24, right? Mm-hmm. That's ridiculous. He just never stopped. And in fact, he kind of was on a heater towards the end of the season. And that's also with playing with Ben the entire season. I'm not sure that he's going to make it back all the way up to 30. He might hit 20 again. If he hits 20 again, I'll be happy.
Oh, no, yeah, no. I'm absolutely with you there. It's like if he hits 20 again, that's about, I know it's crazy, but last year we'd be happy if he gets to 20. And now that's kind of the expectation for Wyatt Johnston, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm on the opposite side of James. I'm saying like 30. I mean, I would not be surprised if he had 30 at all.
Wyatt Johnston?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's like almost a given. I think that him and Ben are kind of like locked down second line now, and they're gonna just. I think they both scored 30. And I think that wouldn't be surprising.
I think they're probably still going to get third line matchups, but yeah, you're pretty much right in terms of scoring. They're the second line.
Well, if that's our second line and Dodonov is still on that right-hand side, then Duchesne. That's crazy. Matt Duchesne, who was on the first line for the Nashville Predators this past season, is going to be on the third line for the Stars. That's crazy. That's ridiculous.
I still think it's going to end up being the second line just because of the matchups that you want for those players.
Well,
yeah,
that's why everyone is hyping up the Stars this offseason. I mean, on paper, this lineup is insane.
Mm-hmm.
All right, James, hot take.
Yep.
All right. I don't think Maverick Bourque or Stankoven are going to be on the roster opening night. I think they're both going to start in the AHL.
That's so sad. Bad hot take, James.
it's going to end up that way. Just looking at our roster now, we already have 12 forwards signed. We still need to sign Dellandrea. Delhi is likely going to play. So I just don't think there's going to be that they're going to have to crazy impress to be able to even get onto the fourth line of this team right now.
That is a very good hot take, James. That was actually that was my fourth one that I wasn't going to talk about. But yeah,
I want it to happen.
I think you're right.
I want one of them to break on.
I know. Yeah,
I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't see it happening either. It's just, and I mean, honestly, would it be bad for both of them to be playing in the top 6 at the AHL?
Yes.
I don't think it would be bad. I don't think it would be bad unless one of them is like 100% ready. And if one of them is 100% ready, they will force Jim Nill's hand into getting into the lineup. And he's shown before that when there's a rookie that does really well, whether it was Hintz, whether it was Robertson, whether it was Johnston, they force themselves into the lineup. So I think James is right.
The big thing is, like, we're not going to have another season like we did this year. Someone's going to get hurt. And if anyone gets hurt on the second or third line,
he
can
guys.
Fill in. Yeah. Two people who can just basically plug and play. So
and it won't hurt your cap situation either, because they're both making less than $1 million too with their entry level contracts. So 100%.
That's the only thing that I can see as being the positive, is that we'd be able to call them up very easily. And like you said, we got so lucky with injuries this year. That's likely not going to happen again. But man, it just makes me question even more the Steele and Smith signings. I mean,
no.
I don't mind the Steele signing. I mind the Smith signing more than the Steele signing, honestly.
I mean, they're both very good players, and their stats are very good, especially in the advanced analytics. Sure, absolutely. I give anybody all that. They're good players, absolutely, especially for the price. But when you have two guys like that, I mean, I've said this for pretty much every offseason. I'd rather give the young guys a chance at playing higher, because we know what we're going to get with Smith and Steele. I mean, we're going to get some solid fourth line guys. That's what we're going to get.
But that's what
potential
you needed,
that you have with Stankoven and Bourque is way higher than Smith or Steele could give you. I'd rather roll the dice, but obviously we know Jim Nill does not like rolling dice.
See, if anything, I wouldn't be mad about the Smith and the Steele signings, because those guys are more than likely fourth line guys. If you really want to complain about it like that, the person that's taking a roster spot away from one of those guys is Matt Duchesne, not Craig Smith or
if you
Sam
could have
Steele.
another second line, like we're talking about Jamie Benn, White, Johnson, Sagan, Duchesne line, or both second lines. Our fourth line is like a second line. I take that for sure. If you would take more goals over less goals.
You still need guys to be able to play defensively, and you still need guys to be able to play on the penalty.
But you don't need a checking line. Defense. A checking line is stupid.
No, yeah, you need at least one checking line.
No,
I don't think that's right.
I think the days of having two scoring lines, two checking lines, that's becoming a thing of the past. I think it's your top 9 are all 3 scoring lines. The top line is you're going to get a little bit more ice time. the number 2 and number 3. But that third line is no longer a checking line. It is purely a scoring line. And even now, without Stankoven or Bork in the lineup, you can look at that third line, and the way that it's projected, it's Mason Marchment, Tyler Seguin, and Matt Duchene. That is a freaking ridiculous good third line.
We're not talking about the third line. We're talking about the fourth line.
I know,
Fourth
but
line sucks. The fourth line can't score.
No, that's not true. But that's not the point of a fourth line. You have to have that fourth line because they are.
You have to have your fourth line not be able to score goals. That does not make sense.
Craig Smith can score goals. He scored 18 goals last season, and as a fourth line player.
Okay, put him on a line with Foxa. They're all gone. There you go.
That's not
Abracadabra.
true.
That is true.
Harry
Have you
Houdini.
seen Fox's stats? Have you seen his advanced offensive stats? They
Who
are crazy bad.
cares?
I care.
Fox-
If our fourth line
Foxa-
never scores,
It doesn't matter. You have to have a fourth line that can check. You have to have a line that can shut down opposing teams' top lines. At least one. You don't need two anymore, but
they all should be able to. They all should be able to do that and score goals.
But the thing that the fourth line will be able to do, which right now I'm just assuming, Foxa, Delandria, and Craig Smith, that fourth line is pretty freaking good. They can score goals, Chris.
They can't score goals. That was right.
Foxa had double
Deli
digits
can't-
in goals.
Deli can't score goals.
Deli can't score goals. He's the new Yanmark.
We have Foxa
But-
and Delandria on a line, and you're saying they can score.
They can,
Unbelievable.
but you don't need somebody to score 20 goals on the fourth line, Chris.
Okay,
If
first
they
line,
get the double digits, that's really good. And you
our
need
first
them
line
more
scores
likely
goals
to play
all the
more
time,
defense.
and they're our best shutdown line. They are always out there in the last 2 minutes of the game when we're up by 1. Not the fourth line, because the fourth line is not as good at defense as the first line. Scoring goals and playing defense is much better than just playing defense.
Okay, but how
right.
often did we say last year that the fourth line was one of the reasons why we won some games? There
Not
were
very often.
not very often. You're right, but were there opportunities and times when that fourth line took advantage of those?
There would
And they
be
showed
more,
that they could.
had more goals from that line.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Chris is just like a brick wall. He's just like, I will not move from this.
Well, because you're saying scoring more goals is worse on the fourth line. That's dumb.
No, but
That's what you're saying.
No, but what basically what I'm understanding from you is that the people that are taking the roster spots away from Bork and Stankoven are Smith and Steele. Is that right?
Yes.
No, that's not true. Matt Duchene, you want Stankoven or Bork playing at least on the third line. You don't want them playing on the fourth line.
No, I'll take the play on the fourth line
No.
because he rolls everybody.
No. Highly
Yep.
disagree. I don't even. How did we even get on this tangent? I don't even know how we got here.
Because James said that they weren't going to play, and I was upset.
Yeah, well, but and James is just over here, just sitting, and we're sitting here arguing back and forth. He's just like, "Oh yeah."
I don't have the energy for this, man. I'm here. I'm just chilling.
James says,
Either one of y'all have any more hot takes?
"Yeah, I got a hot take.
Okay, go for it.
Stars win the West."
I don't think that's a hot take.
I don't think that's much of a hot take anymore.
Hey, I mean,
I think
top,
they could do it.
top 2 team in the league. I'm still saying that's a hot take.
Okay,
They were.
that's fair.
What were they this year in the whole Western Conference?
I think they were
Let's see.
fourth, fifth.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
quite the
fourth.
jump. Yeah, they were 4th. So jumping 3 spots. That's a pretty big jump.
And nobody on Spittin' Chicklets had the Stars even making the freaking playoffs. Ridiculous.
Well, they're stupid.
Yeah, they are stupid. And now everyone's like, "Oh, well, they're gonna be a good wild card team." I'm like, "You're kidding me, right?"
Yeah, Biz doesn't even know what constitutes a
Come on.
5-minute major, so I don't think they should be the. I don't think they should be the guys we're looking to for knowledge.
Yes. Well, okay. So, if the Stars don't win the West, who actually wins the West? Is it still
Colorado.
Vegas or is it someone else?
Oh no, it's probably Vegas.
It's Vegas.
Yeah,
That would. I would also honestly. I know it's not great, but I would still put Edmonton in that same category.
I'm not.
I would put them top
Well,
3, top.
It's
4
gonna
in the
take.
Western
It's
Conference.
gonna take McDavid to do the same thing he did last season, and his team has to be better. That's not gonna happen.
Okay,
His team isn't better,
he
no.
has only gotten better. He has only gotten better, and I think he's gonna drag this team to a freaking Stanley Cup at some point. I don't know
They
if
just
it's
need to
next
get hot
season,
a
but-
little bit earlier, just a little bit earlier, and then they would have won the West.
Are you kidding? He scored like 160 points.
Yeah, he
I
needs
don't
to
think
score
he
like
ever scored-
180. Then
When
they
he
might
was
win.
going through like a slow spell, he was probably getting like 1 point a game,
Yeah, pretty much.
and that's it. It's ridiculous. But
I don't see the Oilers making it further than they really have right now without getting a better support cast with them.
I think they have.
Every night it's Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. It doesn't matter who is on their team with them. Even when they have players who should be helping them, it's always Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl every single night. Doesn't matter.
They're
Even
the
if they have a
Los
goaltender,
Angeles
doesn't matter.
Angels of hockey.
They there's some truth to that too. They're very similar to Dallas in some ways now when you look at the two teams. Like the forward group, there's no doubt that the forward group is really, really good. There's some questions on defense, but I think where it's very different is the goaltending. And they have like legit no goaltending. That Stuart Skinner played really well for them, but he was kind of thrust into that position because Jack Campbell came in with a really big contract and couldn't be the starting goalie that they needed him to be.
I have lots of questions with their forward group, Ryan. Who's their third line center?
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who scored 100 points this past season.
Oh, whoops, bad example. Who's their third line left center?
Quick question, Ryan. How many
Okay.
points did Ryan Nugent-Hopkins have on the power play?
Oh,
Probably a lot.
No. This is a good trivia question. I'm gonna get.
Wait, let me.
How
pull
many
it up
points?
real quick.
How many points did he have total? Was I right? He had over 100.
I'm pretty sure he had over 100.
I'm like 95% positive he had over 100.
Wait, he did
104.
have. He had 104.
104. Okay, so power play points.
Did you see it, Chris? You say it. 'Cause I
I'm
haven't
gonna
seen it
get
yet.
no. Let me guess. I'm gonna guess 69.
53.
Oh,
Over
wow.
half of his
Over
points were
half
on
of
the
his
power
points
play.
are when he
Okay,
was
but-
playing with
So-
McDavid and
And
Okay,
Draisaitl.
when
Leon
you play-
Draisaitl. Both of them. Both of them. Not one, both.
Exactly. Okay, but they've also got some decent cast members and like Zach Hyman. Zach Hyman's a pretty good little player himself. He's not a 100-point player, but he's still got what
Ryan Nugent
60,
Hopkins.
70.
Zach Hyman.
Zach Hyman's a good player, you guys. Don't hype down Zach Hyman. He's a good player. But anyways, I think Edmonton has a chance to get into that. We should do that more. Test my hockey knowledge. That's a lot of fun for me to see if I'm actually right or wrong or whatever.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought he had more points on the power play than that. Even.
Oh, really?
Really?
I thought
didn't think
he
that.
had 60.
I knew it was at least 50. I just guessed 69 just to be stupid, but
53 out of 100 is crazy.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we should do that with Miro Heiskanen. Let's do that with Miro Heiskanen real quick. I'm
doing it
just
right now.
curious. So let me see.
Oops.
That would be really interesting to know. I really gotta
Yeah,
get
I'm going to
faster.
keep talking like I.
So he had like what 73 points?
Yep.
Yeah, 73 points.
Yeah, way less. 34.
Okay. That's I guess that's not,
Still-
not quite half.
Still close to half. But
Yeah.
also you're a defenseman.
That's also true. How many goals did he have? Did he have 13 goals?
11.
He had 11. He needs
did not
to
score.
shoot more.
He does.
Well,
need to
actually, he
shoot
shot a
more.
lot. Never mind.
Yeah, I was
He
about
needs to
to
shoot
say.
the puck in the net more.
There you go.
Okay, I got 2 more hot takes and then we'll move on. And I think we only have time to maybe do the. Let's just do the. Do you want to do the Eastern Conference tonight or the Western Conference?
Sure.
Okay, we'll decide when we get there. Okay, so my 2 other hot takes are this. And I think these are the 2 most important things when it comes to improving for the Dallas Stars' chances in winning the conference or winning the division, like we've been talking about. I mean, I don't have any doubt that the Stars finish top 3 next year. Is that fair?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's count
So-
those chickens.
So let's say that they need to win. That we're gonna win the West. Okay. Stars are going to win 85% of their after regular season games next year. 85%. I didn't look up the percentage of how we did last year, but I would be very interested to know what the percentage of that was last year. And if I had to guess, it's under 50%, maybe even under 40%. So that was one of my hot takes. I think that's one of the things that needs to be improved by this team is they need to be able to win in overtime. And I was unfortunately wrong in the fact that I thought it would get better when the playoffs came along because the playoffs are 5-on-5 and the Stars tend to play better when it's just good old hockey rather than 3-on-3 or whatever. But that didn't prove to be the case either. They lost many overtime games.
Four.
Yeah, quite a
One,
few.
one.
Yeah,
4
and
and
we made it
1-1.
all the way to the conference finals. I mean,
That's impressive.
again,
One
it's
one
just
overtime
one.
game.
It's just
Yeah.
we just needed to win one of those two overtime games that we lost to Vegas in. One of those games we didn't deserve to win. The other one we did deserve to win, and we lost both.
Yeah.
So I think that needs to be like a huge focus of the Stars this season.
The regular season, we won 28.5% of our after regulation games.
So I would think this is a huge hot take because that's an improvement of almost 60%.
Yeah, that's a hot take. I disagree. So
You don't
Good
think they're
hot
going to do that?
no, they suck.
What do you think the percentage would be?
50. Back to standard deviation.
Dude, if we do 50, we're still winning.
We're
the
solid.
century.
We win the
Yes,
West.
that's true. That's true. I don't think it's going to be as bad as it was last year.
I sure hope not.
Yeah,
I can't deal with that.
History proves itself. We should only lose like 3 overtime games.
Well, yeah,
Right.
exactly.
That's
We
true,
flip back and
actually.
forth every
It's
year.
going back and
so
forth every year. That's
we're gonna
right.
be
Yeah.
fantastic. All right,
That's
final
right.
hot take, Ryan.
Okay. I think this is the most important one for me. And I
Most
talked about it last episode with you, Chris, and why I thought this was one of the most key points in the Stars roster as the makeup is right now. Nils Lundqvist is going to play the second most average time on ice next season.
Yeah, that's not even a hot take. That's just wrong.
Again, it's a hot takes don't have to be right. They don't have to be right.
Did they have to be
But-
realistic? Guess not.
Some of them are realistic. Some of mine are realistic. Y'all's is like, oh, well, Wyatt Johnson's going to get to 20 goals again. That's so lame. He already did it.
That's not what I said, but okay.
It's a hot take. Come on.
I think Harley's going to be playing with Heiskanen by the end of the season next year.
So you still think that Miro will be playing on his
He'll be
non-strong
playing on
side
his
then?
offside.
Dang
Yep.
it.
Okay. What's next? We're doing Eastern Conference?
Sure.
Do we really care about the East?
No, let's do the West. So we're going to do way too early Western Conference predictions because there's lots to talk about this week. So this is what we're going to do. We're just going to do this based on the players on the teams now, not what might happen or anything like that. So, yeah. James, who's last in the Pacific?
Are we going to go like everyone does last in the Pacific?
We're
or-
going to do everyone
Nah.
does last in the Pacific.
Okay,
No.
the Sharks are
Let's-
last in the
I'm
Pacific.
hijacking this, Ryan. Whoever's last in the Pacific.
You know what? You
The
can be in the center of
Sharks.
the screen then. Here. You can be the host now. There you go.
The Sharks are going to be the last in the Pacific. They're still not trying. They're getting rid of their 100-point player. No
Who's a
brainer.
defenseman?
I agree with James. The Sharks are last. They suck. They're trying to suck more. Ryan.
Agreed.
Okay. James, who is your second to last in the Pacific Division?
I'm gonna go with the Canucks because they should,
Ooh.
but they're trying. But it's gonna blow up in their face again, dude.
You really think Demko is that? You think he's just going to be that bad again? That's the only reason why I don't have.
No,
them
I
lower
think
than
the
where I
rest of
have
the
them.
team is gonna be worse.
Oh my god!
I'm going with the Canucks as well. I think Demko is a fraud. He had one good playoff run. And
you
also
kidding?
the Canucks franchise just refuses to give up on any of the players
I know.
that they have right now.
They just
Okay,
have
there
to
is some
stop.
cha- there
Just
is some truth
stop.
there.
Yeah, they refuse. They're like, no, we're just retooling. Every
Lose on
third year,
purpose,
we
okay?
retool and we're fine. It's all good. We're gonna get in the playoffs eventually.
And they
That's not true.
constantly land 7th and 6th in the division.
Not good. Okay, Ryan, who's your number 7 in the
I'm
Pacific?
surprised y'all don't have this one at number 7. I still have Anaheim at number 7. I just don't see it.
I'm
I
big on
think-
Anaheim.
Now, I know you're talking about, players right now that are currently on the roster. I don't think John Gibson is going to be on the roster to start the season for the Anaheim Ducks. I think he's going to get traded somewhere. So, and
that
again,
wasn't-
pure speculation.
That was
I
I
have
don't
no
think
idea.
that's why. I don't think that's why the Ducks were winning or losing games. So, I think that does nothing.
But it doesn't hurt when he's not on the roster anymore. So I'm just
That's true.
assuming I'm assuming he's not going to be on the roster.
number 6, James.
I put the Ducks there.
So not much better, but at least
They-
one better
they-
than where I
they're-
put them.
I think they're still a young team. They're getting more young players, and they're going to be good in another year or two. I think.
I'm just following James, I guess, because I have the Ducks there as well. I
Stop
love me some-
copying me.
I love me some Terry. I love me some Zegras. They're gonna
They're
get
fun to
better.
watch.
They're almost there. They are getting there. They're about to lead this team out of the depths of hell and into the shining ocean of the Pacific. Right.
think-
number 6.
I think they're going to be even more fun to watch with Leo Carlson. He's a good little player. Number 6, I've actually got Calgary, and I think it's the mass exodus out of Calgary. No one wants to seem to play there. I don't think they're
Ryan,
gonna
you
make it back to the
realize-
playoffs.
You realize they had like 300 man lost games or something like that to injury.
I understand that, but
Got
there's a lot that has to go right for them. Huberdeau did not have a very good season.
They literally just did what the Golden Knights did last season,
That's what I was
and the
about
Golden
to say.
Knights just won the cup.
I was about to say, not a lot has to go right. Just it can't go all wrong like it did last season.
There's too many.
They won the division the year before, Ryan.
I know, but I think that was more of a fluke than where they actually are at. I think they're more of like a wild card team, but I still don't. The reason why I'll just go ahead and say my number 5 because it makes sense. The reason why I didn't put them 5th is because of Thatcher Demko. I've got Vancouver at 5th. I think Vancouver is going to be good enough just because of Demko, and he's going to get them to the 5th spot.
Yeah.
So
They've
that's my
shown
opinion.
a lot of promise since 2020. James, number 5.
Number 5, I put the Kings. Okay, I'm not a big believer of the Kings, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow, that might be a hot take itself, James.
I mean, that I don't really have an explanation for it. I just don't believe in the Kings as much as I believe in the other 4 teams above them.
Fair enough. Chris's number 5 is Seattle. Chris doesn't believe in Seattle.
Fair.
Seattle
Are you
did very good in
kidding?
their playoff series against us, but that's kind of because the Stars just sucked.
Wow.
Seattle started the season off very hot and just was lukewarm the entire rest of the season. Seattle drops back down.
Okay. no,
James,
well-
number 4.
well,
No,
hold on.
don't
Before
get
you
to.
do,
went
before you do
twice.
this, no. Well, before you go on, would you agree that it's harder to predict this division than the Central Division? Because I thought this division
No.
was a lot harder than the Central.
No, I don't think it's any harder in my opinion.
No,
Really?
I don't think
Okay.
so.
Maybe
I
it
think
was-
you just
I
think
had a harder
Demko's good
time.
and Calgary's bad for no reason. James, number 4.
Number 4, I put the Kraken in number 4. I think they'll make it back to a wild card spot. They'll be fighting with the Kings for it, kind of like they were fighting with the Kings for the 3rd spot the whole year this year.
Number 4, I am dropping the Kings as well as James did. Not as far, but the Kings go to number 4. I don't even know why they're good, honestly. They just kind of are a good team together. There's no star. There's no.
It's what the
carry.
Stars were like 5-6 years ago. They just not. That's probably wrong. Probably I'm thinking of like when they made it to the conference final in like
2008?
Yeah, yeah. It's
2008.
like it didn't feel like that team had like a ton on it, but I mean, you have a couple of players that could score. You have one line, and then everyone else just kind of
Decent supporting cast
out.
and got hot
Yeah.
at the right time.
Ryan, number 4.
My number 4, I've got actually the Los Angeles Kings, and they went out and got Pierre-Luc Dubois. I think he got way overpaid in my opinion. He doesn't deserve $8 million. I think because I think his best season he's had is like 60 points, maybe 70 points.
He's got a cool name though.
He does have a very cool name though. But I just don't think. I don't think he's gonna be as big of a difference like some other people are saying he's going to be for the Los Angeles Kings. So I've seen a lot of people like put him like, oh, they're gonna be 2nd or 3rd next year, and I just don't see it. I think Los Angeles is 100% a playoff team, but I just don't think they're gonna be in the top 3.
James, number 3.
My number 3 is the Oilers. I think it's going to take McDavid having another crazy season for them to get higher than they did. There's just more well-rounded teams in the league than the Oilers.
That's where you're wrong, though. McDavid has had like 4 crazy seasons in a row. Number
I
3,
agree,
Calgary.
but still.
Calgary is number 3. Like James said, they had the worst possible luck you could ever imagine last year. I mean, they lost 1 million games to man injury. Their best player who they got from Panthers just didn't play like himself the entire time.
That's not even their best player. Markstrom
Not
is
even-
their best player.
There you go.
He played like nothing.
Huberdeau is going to be better next year. Absolutely. Not even a question. Calgary is going to easily make the playoffs this year. Ryan is just dumb. I don't know what has to go right. Just stuff doesn't have to go wrong. Nothing has to go right for them. Just stuff doesn't have to go wrong.
There's too many questions with them.
What's
There's
the
way too-
question? Will they get
Markstrom-
injured 1 billion times again?
Okay, but Huberdeau has to go like he has to get like 100 points. Markstrom has to be like way better than he was.
To get third? No.
He's not going to be any better. I can guarantee they're not going to make the playoffs. Now they might
Neither
not get
of them
6.
gets better. Yeah, you're right.
No,
Two
I
great
don't. I don't
players just are
think.
going to suck again. 2 years
I
in a
don't
row.
think
You're
they're gonna
right.
get there.
Ryan, number 3rd.
I got the Seattle Kraken at number 3, and I think a lot. And again, it's probably a little bit of bias because we played them, but I was extremely impressed in how they played the Dallas Stars in the playoffs. So that's kind of why I put them above the LA Kings, is just because of that recency bias of watching them in the playoffs and realizing how well they played. Now, the thing that they have to deal with is they have to figure out their goaltending. Their goaltending sucked in the regular season, but then for some reason it got really good in the playoffs. So if they can figure that out in the regular season, great.
It wasn't good in the playoffs, by the way.
Yeah, it wasn't. Good. Ryan admits that his pick is bad because he's biased. Good. I like that
Okay.
one. James, number 2.
My number 2 is the Flames. I don't see them doing anywhere near what they did last year. It was a miracle. that
Nobody
they
wants to play
got-
for them, you guys. Nobody.
I don't care. Their players are still good. The players that they still have are still good. It doesn't matter if players want to go there or not. The
They
players
lost
that they
a
have
30
now
goal
are good
scorer.
enough.
They lost a 30-goal scorer for nothing. No offense to Sharon
I
Govich,
still-
but Tyler
I
Toffoli went to the Devils because he didn't want to be there.
I still think the Flames are good enough to get second. in this
Noah
league.
Hannafin doesn't want to be there either.
Okay, Ryan's just gotta keep arguing this. Keep going.
Number
We've
2
already
is
been over
Edmonton
this.
because
Yes.
McDavid. McDavid too good. McDavid very good.
I've got Edmonton at number 2 as well.
And we all
James-
have the Golden Knights at first.
And again,
Wow,
recency
what
bias.
a shocker.
Oh.
Big
I
shocker.
got into the Central.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't even think we have to explain Vegas. Vegas, great. Lose almost nobody. Cool. Good for them. Number 8, James. No, we'll flip it. Flip it. Boom, flip it. Ryan, number 8.
Central.
Central.
Okay. This might be a little bit of a surprise to y'all, but not a huge surprise. I've got Winnipeg. I don't think it's going to get any better, and I
You
think
think
they're
it's
going to
that
trade
much
away
worse,
other
though?
players. Oh yeah, no, it's a toxic locker room. They're not going to have a whole bunch of players that really want to play there. I think, and again, I'm kind of doing the same thing I did with Gibson, but I think it's even more likely that Hellebuck and Scheifele are not going to be members of the Jets by the time the season starts. So part of it is expecting them not to be there, but even with them on, they don't have Wheeler anymore. They have some decent players in Ehlers and Connor, but still, I don't see it. Winnipeg, number 8.
Arizona is still trying to lose, even with the players that they've gotten. So
No,
Arizona
they traded for Sean Dursey from the LA Kings, and he's a pretty decent
Ooh,
defenseman.
Sean Dursey, you say?
Do you even know who that is?
Arizona number 8. James.
I have the Blues at number 8.
Ooh,
They were
I like
not
this
good
one.
this season. They got worse, and I think that they're trying to lose right now. Honestly,
I don't know if they're trying to lose. They just
they have no one left on their team.
They got no
There's-
players.
But who else has gone? Tarasenko.
That's it. That's all.
Noah
you need to
Chari
lose.
left.
Ryan O'Reilly
Barbashev.
left.
That's true, James. Okay, there's a lot of players. that
They
did leave.
lost a lot of players and they picked up a lot of draft picks, and I think they're just going to tank this year too and just stick with it.
Ryan, number 7.
Number 7 is Arizona. That's it.
No explanation needed. Okay, Chris, number
Do
7.
they really need an explanation?
No.
Okay.
Chris, number 7. Chicago. They're still bad. James, number 7.
The Coyotes.
Understandable. Have a great day. Ryan, number 6.
I'm kind of going back and forth between my next two, but I think number 6 is going to be Chicago. I think they're going to be good enough. I think Connor Bedard is going to be able to get more points, but they're still not going to make the playoffs. Long story short.
Let's just go back to Chicago. I somehow got suggested some Chicago Blackhawks fan page thing on Facebook, and they were gassing up their lineup. They have Jason Dickinson as their third line center. Shut up.
That's
Okay.
not bad. That's
He
not
was
bad.
our fourth
It could
line
be-
center.
It could be a
Ryan.
lot worse. It could be a lot worse. He was playing on the second line last year, I think.
That thing, he was playing on the second line.
And they got
He was playing on the
59
second line.
points.
They did only get
I know.
59 points.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is like it could be worse. It could be
It
worse.
could technically
They
be
were-
worse.
they
but
were
they're saying
11
that they're gonna
points
win the
behind-
division with that lineup. And if you have Jason Dickinson as your third line center, shut up.
Let,
Sit down.
let
Go back
them
to
be
number
happy
6.
they got a new shiny toy, Chris, okay?
I will
Yes.
not. They got 2 shiny toys, but no.
Yep.
Dumb. Okay. Wait, who is it?
You're-
Me number
you're-
6
yes,
now? It's
you,
me
you
number
number
6.
6.
St. Louis. James, number 6.
Chicago.
Understandable. We already talked about them. Right, number 5.
My number 5 is Nashville. I got Nashville at number 5. I'm not quite sure what Barry Trotz is doing as the GM over there, but he has done some kind of weird stuff. And maybe he really is just trying to be a middle of the line team to give some of the younger guys an opportunity, but he traded away Johansson. He's in Colorado now. Obviously, Duchesne is here now. So their 2 top centers are gone. And I think they're a lot worse. They went out and got Ryan O'Reilly, which is kind of weird. So I'm not sure what is going on there. I don't think they're a tire fire, Ardell, but I don't know. They're a weird team. They're a weird team to me. I'll leave it at that.
You want to know who is a tire fire? Chris is number 5, Winnipeg.
No, that is very true.
That's kind of crazy. I mean, I'm just talking about this division now. Man, this division is easy. We are playing nobody. We're playing 2 teams next season. Man, Central sucks.
And Connor Bedard.
And we're playing Connor Bedard. That'll be
That's
fun.
it.
All right, James, you're number 5.
Oh, man. This division feels worse because, like, I don't just want to put
No, I
the
agree
Avs,
with you.
Stars, and the Wild
I
back
think-
at the top 3 because I don't think
I think,
I don't think that's going to happen again, honestly.
I do.
Well, I think the Pacific is better than the Central now, guys.
Oh,
I
it's
truly
without a
believe
doubt.
that.
It's
100%.
without a doubt better.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if they weren't. That being said, I put the Preds at number 5.
Ryan, number
Yeah.
4.
Number 4, I got St. Louis. And I will go with it right now and say I don't think that 4 teams from the Central are going to make the playoffs. I think it's going to be 5 from the Pacific and 3 from the Central.
I was just about
And
to say the
so-
same thing.
So I think St. Louis will miss the playoffs. I think you're right, James. I don't think they're that bad. That
I
they've,
think they are.
but they've still got Buchnevich. They've still got
Who?
Buchnevich,
Bucci.
Bucci. They still got Brandon Saad. They've got Kyrou. They've got Thomas. They've got and they still got Parenko. He's pretty good.
You just don't have a top.
But I
line.
still don't think they're gonna make. I still don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. So that's
Yeah, Nashville number 4. Like you said, Ryan, weird moves. Doesn't really make sense. They didn't sell, and they didn't. Well, I guess they kind of sold. I don't know.
No, they definitely sold. I mean, they
Yeah.
sold Matthias Elcom.
They didn't
Matthias
all out
Ekholm.
sell though. I feel like you can get lower than that. Nashville number 4. They missed the playoffs. James.
I'm gonna put the Wild at number 4.
Oh,
I
feel like
Really?
they just
Gut
they just
reaction?
they just got worse over the offseason so far. They just kind of lost an entire 4th line, a solid 4th line too,
and they were already bad.
and they were already bad. They just try to beat people up. I don't think that's gonna work again.
Ryan number 3.
My number 3 is pretty. I think my top 3 are pretty simple. My number 3 is Minnesota. I still think they're good enough to make the playoffs. And like you said, they're just gonna bully themselves all the way up into the top 3. And to be honest with you, looking at the rest of the Central Division, maybe other than maybe Winnipeg if they can figure it out, but I don't think they're gonna figure it out. I don't see who else is number 3 in the Central Division. That's just me.
My number 3 is Minnesota as well, for all the reasons that Ryan stated and more. James, number 3.
I have the Jets in number 3. I don't think they're going to trade anyone. Honestly, I don't think it's going to happen.
Nobody.
I think they're going to hold on to all of them, and they're just going to be like, yes, screw it. Let's see what happens. And then they're going to get third in the division, and then Shifley and Hellebuck are both going to walk to free agency after they get out in the first round.
First round exit.
That's the most likely outcome to me.
Yeah, I mean, object at rest stays at rest, so why not? Ryan, number 2.
Can we all just say it at the same time? Because I think we all have the same top 2.
Colorado.
Maybe Colorado. Okay, I have Colorado at number 2 as well. And you know, I know a lot of people are saying that oh well, they've completely changed their lineup and everything, but they've made a lot of good changes in my opinion. Ryan Johansson doesn't have to be like supreme superstar in Colorado. That's for Nathan McKinnon. So he's probably going to play on the second line. And under the radar kind of pickup by them was Ross Colton from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Ross Colton was the one who won the first maybe it wasn't the first Stanley Cup. One of the Stanley Cups. He got the game winning goal for the series in the Stanley Cup final. So he's got a bunch of Stanley Cup experience, and he's still pretty young. I think he's like 26.
He's 26. They haven't signed him yet, by the way.
I think
they have him, and he's restricted free agent, but they haven't signed him yet.
Yeah, that's true.
To sign him.
But yeah, after trading for him, yeah, that would be weird. But I liked their lineup. I think it looks pretty good, but I don't think it's better than the Stars.
And when you've got McKinnon and Makar, I mean, it's tough for me to even put the Stars above them just because of their pedigree. I mean, we saw what they did at the end of this season. The Stars.
Well, we have
a
Robo, a Rope, and a Miro. So
we had all that this year too, and they still charged up the leaderboard and took it from us. I mean,
okay, but why
those guys?
Again,
because they got 8 power plays in a Sharks game.
Oh,
they were losing. They were losing.
Yeah, they were losing.
Okay. That's just my funny quip from the whole year.
Still, they're led by Nathan McKinnon, and that guy is the ultimate gamer. I mean, he is so competitive. That I would kill to have him. He is fantastic, and I hate his guts.
Here's my cutback. Gabriel Landeskog is probably out for the season still.
Oh no, he's not playing.
Yeah.
He's not playing at all.
He's done. That's tough to come back from. That's your captain.
And that's
they
probably
mostly
why
dealt without him this past season, anyways.
Still.
Sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
But before you have the thought like maybe he gets back, we're still playing in case he gets back. Now he's gone. He's not coming back.
Yeah. Good point by Ardell. The last comment. He might not play again.
Yeah,
which I definitely see as a possibility.
That seems to be happening a lot with guys. Isn't that crazy?
People don't want to quit.
Well, like Robin Leonard. Where the heck is he? Where he going? Obviously, Shea Weber is never going to play again.
Where are you going?
What about Mike Smith? Everyone forgets about him. he still had an NHL contract last season. He just, I'm not going to play anymore.
I think that's just the modern hockey player now. Like, they don't want to quit until their body makes them.
I guess there's some truth to that. But
all right, there's our weights really predictions for the Western Conference.
Yep, we'll do Eastern Conference next week. Okay,
Conference next week because we'll indefinitely.
Why are the Stars at number 1?
Why are the Stars at number 1?
Yeah,
because we have Matt Duchene in our third line,
and we have an Otter.
We do have it.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll have a healthy Wedgwood down the stretch,
and we're gonna win all of our overtime games.
Yes, like I said, that's why it was a hot take of mine. 85%.
Well, this is the on year for overtime games. You know, it's an Olympic year, so that means we can win overtime games. That's how it goes.
Yep.
Is the Olympics even this year? I
don't know. But hey, really quick before you go on, like we've been saying for the longest time, the Nils Lundkvist is key, and I think Wedgwood is too. And it's not really a hot take. It's more of like I hope this happens. I think Ottinger needs to play 55 games, and then Wedgwood needs to pick up the slack and play more. And he needs to stay healthy. And I think that's, again, another huge point to this roster and how we could really get first place in this division. I mean, it's our division for the taking, in my opinion.
Easy
Colorado
division.
Colorado lost in the first round. We made it to the third round. Everybody's looking at us now and kind of viewing us as perennial Stanley Cup contenders now.
There's
Even
5
though they
crappy
didn't-
teams in our division.
and
There
and
are
yeah,
5 crappy
the-
teams.
and the Central is very bad. They're the new Pacific. They're very much worse than the Pacific. So I don't know. I think those two players are super key for Dallas, Lundqvist and Wedgwood.
All right, moving on. We're done with the hockey. So if y'all are only here for the hockey, y'all can leave now. We are on to the Who Cares segment. Today, we have planned this one, I believe, since April of 2021 is when we had this one locked in, is when I put that into the schedule. So today, we are doing the best furniture, your favorite pieces of furniture. So we're going to do your standard top 3 format, and we're going to start, since we've been flipping it all day, we're going to flip it back to James. James, what's your number 3rd favorite piece of furniture?
Just a good old chair. We're all using them right now.
You have to be more specific.
I was about to
Must be
say,
more
chairs.
specific.
Chair.
you have to be way more specific than that. There's so many.
You know the
like,
one that looks like a 4, but you turn it upside down.
I am
That
so
one.
upset right now. Ryan, number 3. Number 3rd.
You can tell how much thought has gone into this.
I'm tired. Dude. I can't do this.
my number 3, my number 3 is lame, but my other 2 are better. My number 3 is just a good old entertainment center. I like the one that we got. The one that we got from Amazon. I should have brought it up and have a picture of it for y'all, but it's got the little like slidey doors, kind of like on a barn door you would see. I think it's really cool. I really like it. We've got like 2 or 3 of them here at the house. So yeah, exactly. That's my number 3. Chris, shut up.
This is sad. All right, number 3 best furniture is the garage fridge. The garage
good one.
fridge is the top tier fridge of all fridges. It normally has all the good drinks are all in the garage fridge because mom doesn't want them in there because they're unhealthy and stuff like that. It also has the backup pizza rolls always in the garage fridge. You got pizza rolls in the main fridge, go check the garage fridge, always pizza rolls in there every single time. And then sometimes you got some mystery meat. You always need a good mystery meat in your life. Like once a month, I'd say you need a good mystery meat. That's where the garage fridge is where it's at, is the mystery meat.
You know what I can't stand about the garage fridge though?
That the car is in the way.
The smell, man. Oh, the smell. Sometimes it just gets to me. I can't stand it.
If your garage fridge smells, you need to clean it. I'm just saying.
Okay,
My
you better
garage
tell
fridge
Dad
is
that
fine.
then. You better tell Dad that then right now, because that one at James's, where James is right now, it stinks.
James, we're
I'll
gonna
go
need you
out
to
there.
report back on the garage fridge.
Yeah.
I'm not going out there.
There you go. That answers the question right there. But he
James,
might
number
just be
second.
too lazy.
My number 2 is a computer desk. Why? Because I spend most of my time there, including all the time that I do my class. Computer desk.
Nice. Ryan, number 2.
My number 2 is this chair, this specific chair, and it's
Thank
not just
you.
a chair. This is like a gaming chair.
That looks
And
like a chair.
I got this for Christmas, I think. Gosh, it must have been 2 or 3 years ago. Dude, this thing is so comfortable. There's like a pillow here. There's a pillow like on the lower back where your butt meets the back of the chair.
We call that a lumbar.
I don't care. I don't care what it's called. But I literally can fall asleep in this thing. I've literally fallen asleep in this chair numerous times.
I feel the same way. I bought this chair off of a stranger for $20.
Just randomly off the street.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right.
Is that
My
your number
num-
2?
No, not the $20 sketchy chair. No, that is not my number 2. The number 2, I don't know. Is this really furniture? We're gonna say like kitchen counters. I don't even know if that's furniture.
But
I'm
that's
gonna-
not
I'm gonna
furniture,
do-
Chris.
that's
You
not
don't
furniture.
move that. You don't move that in and out of your house.
You can.
But you
New
don't.
choice. New choice.
Nope. Number 2 is kitchen counter. I mean,
Okay, you automatically lose then.
That's where I make all my food. That's where I eat most of my food is on the kitchen counter. I don't even
Why
take
didn't
it
you just
anywhere.
say table?
I just stand
Table,
there and eat it.
Chris, table.
Well,
Because he eats at the kitchen counter.
I was trying to be more specific, but sure, table.
I chose chair.
Yeah, and I think that's dumb. I think that's stupid, James. But fine, I'll
You
do
chose
as
a
the,
kitchen counter.
that is also fair. I'll do as the dummy does. I'll say table. I like tables. I can put things on them.
Yes. Join the dark side.
James, number
We have
first.
cookies.
Number first is a couch, and if you don't choose a couch, you're arguably wrong. Hopefully this isn't a leather couch that's sitting in the sun because that sucks. But
yeah.
if it's a leather couch that's not
Sneaky.
sitting in the sun,
Oh, it's amazing.
it's a good couch.
My number one is also a couch. This one is unfortunately obvious. And my couch right now is actually a floor couch. Like, it's one of those fold-up couches because it's the only couch that could fit in my car.
You mean like a futon?
No, it's not a futon.
No.
It's a floor couch. Look up a
it's a
floor
floor-
couch, Ryan. You
Like if a couch was on
imbecile.
the floor.
Yeah. So take a couch, put it on the floor. Floor couch.
All right. Floor couch.
Number 1st.
I'll look it up. All right. My number one, and it's because I'm the only one who is a dad on this pod, is a rocking chair. Rocking chairs are amazing. I love being able to rock my kids to sleep. And they're just something calming and shut up, Chris.
Oh, my kids. I love my kids. Gross.
You went all emotional on us.
Yes, but that's why it's my
Disgusting.
number one.
That is
And-
nasty.
And I love being able to rock them to sleep. And it's like whenever you like hold them and you're rocking back and forth, a lot of the time they're just like a heater. They're like a personal heater, so it keeps you warm even if it's
I
freezing
hate
outside.
that.
And then also on top of that, because they're falling asleep, it helps you fall asleep as well. So that helps for me. Joe Mama, shut up. I know that I'm an old woman. Get over it. It's my number one. I think I went by default because one of you said chair and one of you said table.
My chair was
So,
number
even
3
though
at
you
least,
might
okay?
not like my number one, I still win by default. So
My
No,
number 2
I
and
don't
number
think-
1 was better than your number 1.
Luckily, I don't even have to insult you because Joe Mama did it better than I ever could. So that's nice. Now we can just end the episode. Ryan, go ahead.
No, you're the host here. You have to do
I'm
it.
the host.
No,
Okay,
Ryan's
well,
the host.
Thank you to our sponsors, DraftKings. Go ahead and use that promo code THPN. Be sure to check out our fantastic website, starcasterremarks.com. Yeah, we got the .com. That is how sick nasty we are. Just keep that bookmark. We got little blogs every once in a while. Haven't done those in a while because, off season, nothing to talk about. That kind of sucks. But it'll also tell you when our new episodes are there. You can just click on them right there. Don't even have to go anywhere else. And it looks pretty sick. I mean, if we do say so ourselves, Ryan did a fantastic job on the website. Everyone say good job, Ryan. Good job, Ryan.
Good job, Ryan.
Okay.
Chris
What else do we
actually
have to
gave me
say?
a compliment.
Check-
I'm shocked.
It's fantastic. Check out the shop. We've got all your bathroom necessities in there. Shampoos and body washes coming out soon.
No,
Be
No.
on the lookout. Phase 3. I think that's about it. What do you think, Ryan?
please click like and subscribe.
Please click like, subscribe, comment, leave a message, DM, private chat, copy paste a link, all those kinds of things.
Send the
Threads,
link to us.
Threads, Instagram, Facebook,
we have a
OnlyFans. No,
Threads?
just kidding about the just kidding about the OnlyFans.
Maybe. I mean, we have to gauge interest.
No.
And with that, we'll see you guys next Wednesday with even more hot, fast-paced NHL news. We'll catch you on the flip side. James, click the red X.
What's the red X? Oh, you mean this?